Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the series finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, if you have not seen it yet, please pause the video, watch the episode, and then come back and see me. Now, that being said, there are spoilers ahead. I know I've said that already, but we really don't want to ruin anything for you. So, the episode starts right where the last one began, although a little bit in the future, not much. So what we see is an Imperial starship is going after the crew of basically the insurgents, and they're trying to take him out. And Darth Vader really wants to kill Obi-Wan. Then we have, while this is going on, we have third sister, I couldn't think of her name for a second, third sister who is now trying to look for Luke Skywalker. Now, I believe she's already made it to Tatooine at this point, but she doesn't know where he is. So, flashback, going back to Obi-Wan, he's decided that the only way for the group to escape is for him to get out on a different ship and give them a chance to escape, because he knows Darth Vader is only going to come for him. So, Obi-Wan gets in the ship, takes off, and just like Obi-Wan thought, Darth Vader orders that they go after Obi-Wan and leave the group. Now, the Grand Inquisitor disagrees. He wants to go after the insurgents to stop them from growing, and which will later become the rebellion, but for right now, I believe they're called the insurgents. I apologize. But anyway, so Darth Vader doesn't care and basically states that they're going after Obi-Wan. So after a lot of blasting and missing Obi-Wan lands on a remote planet, and Darth Vader basically says, "I'm going after him alone." Now, nobody argues with him, because mostly it's Darth Vader, and who's going to argue with him? So this leads to a really good fight. I personally think this might get a lot of backlash, but I think this was the best Star Wars Jedi fight I've ever seen. I'm sorry. So let me really go into detail. So there's two parts to this fight, and we definitely see Obi-Wan's using a lot more of the Force. He's really remembering why he needs the Force and what the Force is used for, in the sense of it's because of hope, and that there's people who need him. And it's because of that he's pretty much even with Darth Vader at this point. The difference here is Obi-Wan doesn't really use a lot of Force abilities in the first part of the fight. So they get into a fight, and we see some major power from Darth Vader. I mean, he's lifting stuff up like it's nothing, throwing it at Obi-Wan. He also breaks the ground with the Force, makes a crater, puts Obi-Wan in it, and then proceeds to throw rocks into it, massive pillars of rocks, until he's completely covered, and Darth Vader just walks out of there. Because in the end, he thought that Obi-Wan had a weakness, and he exploited it. Now, that being said, Obi-Wan is being crushed by these rocks. He has the Force to kind of hold him in, and he remembers Leia, and he remembers all the reasons why he is a Jedi, and what he needs to do to protect those who can't defend themselves. And that's when he lifts all the rocks up in one power blast. I don't want to say blast, because that's not the right way to put it, but one Force wave knocked all the rocks out of him. He jumps out and goes after Vader. Tries to sneak attack him, and they continue to fight. Now this goes completely in the opposite direction, where Obi-Wan is schooling Mr. Vader. And he doesn't even earn the title Darth Vader at this point, because he is getting his butt whooped. Obi-Wan is reminding Mr. Vader who the heck his master is. He starts smashing up his armor, slicing him up. Now, slicing his armor, not himself, actually. Breaks his mask, in everything. And this is where we see Anakin's face, or Darth Vader's face, really. And Obi-Wan's trying to convince Anakin, hey, you gotta break out of this. And this is a really important scene because Darth Vader basically says to Obi-Wan that I'm not your biggest failure. You didn't kill me. You didn't kill Anakin. I did. And what it really shows is in the end that it was his own dark side and his own greed and his own just everything. Rage. It made Anakin turn to the dark side. So therefore he killed himself is the best way to put it. So that being said, let us move on. Obi-Wan leaves him there. Now Darth Vader is having a real difficult time breathing. Now we know that Darth Vader can actually hold himself alive for a long period of time without his equipment, but he doesn't necessarily be able to fight at the caliber that Obi-Wan was able to fight at that point in time without his healing apparatus. So anyway, Obi-Wan just leaves him. And Darth Vader isn't happy. He's yelling at Obi-Wan, and nothing happens in the sense of he's like, I'm out. I'm done. So Obi-Wan feels a disturbance in the Force where it's specifically Luke. What happens is his third sister goes into Tatooine. She starts looking and asking questions about Luke and the farmer Owen. And this is where we get to see Owen and his wife really being, how do I put this, badasses? Because they basically were ready for this fight better than anyone I know, to be honest with you. They were more prepared for it than I thought. So they basically get themselves prepared to fight in their home to stop their, they don't know it's third sister, just in general. She goes into the house at night and they start fighting. She takes out Owen. Now, granted, she is still hurt. She is not at 100%. But Owen is fighting her. They start trying to blast her. It doesn't work out. They then hide inside their home. She gets in. Owen goes to fight her first. He gets beaten. He gets knocked out. Well, not forever, but he gets knocked out for a little bit. Then his wife goes in, starts beating her up. She knocks her out. And then she goes after Luke, who runs into the desert. Now, when she goes to look for him, she has a little bit of a difficult time, but she uses the Force and knocks him off this plateau. Because I don't want to say mountain, because it's really not a mountain. And it is during that time where she has a chance to kill him, and she chooses not to. I think this is a very important scene because she then brings Luke unconscious back to the home, lays him down, starts crying. Owen and his wife take Luke and leave. Obi-Wan explains to her that, you did the right thing and that you've honored them. You've honored the ones that have fallen. Because all she wanted to do was kill Luke Skywalker to pay back Anakin for what he did to her and all the other younglings. But she couldn't do it. So he then explains to her that you get to do whatever you want now. You're free. And she leaves her lightsabers and she goes. And that's kind of how it ends with them. What we see then is we see that Obi-Wan visits Leia for a little bit. And it's a little bit of an exciting time for them. And then he then visits Luke. Well, he visits Owen and gives him his toy and everything else. And he tells him that he can visit Luke. And so we don't see the interaction between them, but they do visit. And then Obi-Wan goes into the desert of Tatooine. And during that time, we see his old master, Qui-Gon. I believe it's Qui-Gon. Anyway, but anyway, yeah. So we see his master, and what we see then is the fact that we see him getting ready to train Obi-Wan in the ways of the Force that he was not aware of beforehand, which we assume is going to be what leads to him being able to use the Force in such a way that he actually becomes powerful in the future. Qui-Gon. I couldn't think of his name. So anyway, yes, Qui-Gon is there, granted as a Force ghost, and Obi-Wan's like, I've been waiting for you, Master, and Qui-Gon's basically like, hey, I've been here the whole time. You're only now ready to see me. And he disappears, and then Obi-Wan follows him into where he assumes he's going. And that's how the episode ends. And that's how the series ends. So a lot of stuff that was cleared up in the sense that we definitely got to see the fight that showed that Obi-Wan was the Master and demonstrated to Vader who the heck the Master really was. We also get to see why Darth Vader stopped looking for Obi-Wan, in the sense of we see a little scene with him and Palpatine, and he's basically stating that Vader, you're letting your emotions of your master bother you, and really you should let your past go. And he does, which is weird, but he does. But then he listens to his boss, his master. So that's how it goes. So yeah, that's how it ends, and I definitely thought it was good. I was very impressed with it. It was definitely a great way to end it, in the sense of that fight with him and Vader. Perfect. But let me know what you guys thought about the series overall. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please let me know in the comments below. As always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.